Networking probably terrifies you. It definitely terrifies me, and I get sweaty palms, and I've got them now just thinking about it. You don't know what to say, you don't know who to approach, you really don't want to be stuck in that large room full of people that you either don't know at all or you know very little about them, and been stuck trying to make small talk and trying to start those conversations. So today I want to share 5 tips that mean you don't need to be a megaphone to excel in that sort of situation and to propel your business forward, making the most of your introversion. Because at the end of the day, introversion is your superpower. It's just a case of how do you harness it and how do you turn it to your benefit. So let's jump straight in. So tip number 1, one-to-one conversations. Try not to get stuck into large group settings. Now, that might mean that you are in a large room, but it might mean that you're in smaller groups within that room and trying to use that as small conversations. Try and focus on one person and dive deep with that person. Before you know it, you'll be discussing your mutual love for 80s music, who doesn't love 80s music, or a peculiar sandwich filling that everybody else will think strange, but you might just start a conversation through it. So focus on one-to-one conversations. Number 2, be curious. We're in the business of building relationships with people, so try and do that. Ask open-ended questions. It not only keeps the conversation flowing, but it also gives the person you're speaking to a chance to shine, okay? People love talking about themselves. And us as introverts, we're particularly good listeners, okay? So ask the open-ended questions, let them do more talking than you. You do the listening, and then you can jump in at the prime moments. Okay, number 3, set mini goals. So challenge yourself to interact with just 2 or 3 people at an event. Events can be absolutely terrifying, okay, but they are still a place where you can shine. Okay, it's a bit like a scavenger hunt, but instead of looking for items, you're collecting meaningful connections, building relationships, and that only takes a couple of small conversations, and suddenly a door will open, a path will become clear, and you'll be on that path to success. But set that challenge for you, and then make sure you remain accountable. So pick 2 or 3, set a goal of 2 or 3 conversations, and go down that path. Number 4, have a story up your sleeve. Okay, it might be a quirky quote or a fun fact about llamas, because everybody loves llamas. Okay, but have something up your sleeve so that when the conversation starts to dry up and you start to struggle, you can pull that out of your pocket and you can launch that. Now, it might sound silly, it might sound strange, okay, but it will act as a catalyst for that conversation and move it forward, and again put the ball back into the other person's court for them to continue the conversation. Okay, now one of our secret weapons as introverts, and this is tip number 5, that's come to light over the past few years, is the fact that the internet is vast and full of forums, communities and online events. Okay, and we can use these as introverts to our absolute benefit. Okay, and in this case, in this sort of virtual environment, we actually excel over our extroverted friends. Okay, they love being in a room, love having lots of people to speak to, but when it's virtual, they're a lot more restricted. But for us, we can focus on people, and we can pick and choose exactly who we want to speak to. We can possibly prepare in advance, and we can really go down that road and build those relationships. And you don't even have to be properly dressed when you're in a virtual event. Now, I'm not going to ask any of you how many of you have sat there with your pajamas on during Zoom calls, but most people have done it. Okay, so that's 5 tips for today to show you that you don't need to be terrified of networking. Okay, it becomes more natural the more you do it. So if you're setting yourself challenges to speak to people and you're building those relationships, you'll soon overcome the fear. Okay, now what I like you to do is I like to share your best tips for networking. Share a funny story if you've got one about a situation you ended up in, and help everybody else watching this video overcome their fear as well. Leave it in the comments below, and I'll look forward to reading along with you guys. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.